All right, let's get started with our November 2024 sales meeting as the year is coming to a conclusion. Lots of exciting stuff happening here at LAER. First of all, I want to start today by my consistent reminder that knowledge is not power, execution is power. So I hope that you have a pen and paper available, or you could take notes somewhere on your phone. Since you're spending the morning with us, the next hour or so, we want to make sure that you execute on some of the tools that we're going to talk about today, so that you get value out of the 1 hour investment that you're making into your business. So first, I want to say a welcome to all of the agents that have joined in the last 30 days. So welcome to April, Dave, Jill, Freddie, Cherian, Jimmy, Emily, Gail, Nicole, Tiffany, Navaneet, Ed, and Paul. Super excited to have you all with us at LAER. So thank you for joining us. Next, wanted to just dive into our numbers for October. First, we'll go through our overall numbers. We'll go through what transactions look like, top agents for each of the areas that we do business. And then we're going to do a year-over-year comparison to see what our numbers looked like this time last year. So our October closings, we ended up at 253 total closings, plus 33 rentals at a total sales volume of 132 million. Here's the breakdown on that. Our Massachusetts-based offices did 200 transactions at 112 million, Maine 24 sales, 7.2 million, New Hampshire 7 at 3.4 million, and Florida offices did 22 sales at 8.7 million. Let's take a look at our top agents and teams for each of the markets that we do business in. So first, we want to recognize our top Massachusetts teams by volume. So congratulations to O'Connell and Company, Page and Company, Catalyst Home Alliance, the Tebow team, and Silver Key Homes. Oops, we're going backwards. Next, top Massachusetts individuals by volume. Number 1, Paul, followed by Corey Gracie, Olivia Paris, Michael Durkin, and April Cover. So congratulations to our top 5 individuals by volume in Massachusetts offices. Let's take a look at top Massachusetts teams. I think I'm going backwards again. Top Massachusetts teams by units. We have number 1, O'Connell and Company, followed by Tebow team, Silver Key Homes, Page and Company, and Catalyst Home Alliance. All of our agents. Let's take a look at our 2024 as compared to our 2023. So for 2024, as I mentioned, we did 253 closings in October with 132 million for sides. Last year at this time, we did a few more closings, 261 sides, and a little bit less volume at 126 million. So year over year, our volume is pretty close to even. We're at about 1.2 billion, almost exactly where we were last year. Our volume, our units is pretty close as well. So we've closed 2,363 sales so far this year as compared to 2,461 closings last year at this time. So some of you are probably saying, well, we've also grown quite a bit as a brokerage over the last 12 months. For example, adding Avenue Real Estate in December of last year, plus 2 recent Maine offices, Hollowell, Cape Elizabeth. So even though, and not to mention all of the agents that continue to join the brokerage. So how are we stacked up overall within the industry? First, I have to say I'm super proud of our results that we are staying. I'm so thankful that we are basically where we were last year as far as volume and units. Let's just say that we hadn't continued to add agents and grow. According to the National Association of Realtors, the numbers nationally are down by 15%. So existing home sales are down by 15%. That's as of September 2024. Existing home sales are down by 15% nationally. In August, there was a 20% dip in home sales in the Northeast region. Also, Florida, 15.6 decline in sales so far this year as compared to last year. So nationally, in almost all of the markets, there is a steep decline in transactions. So it's important for you guys to know that, because it's important to understand that, yeah, some of you have struggled this year. You're doing a little bit less business, or you're doing the same amount of business, but it's taking a lot more work to get the same amount of business. But I want you to know it's not you. It is the industry that we happen to be in this year. The market is just off. Many of you had the opportunity to join us at the NAR Next conference that happened last week. And one of the opening speakers for that event was Lawrence Yun. And for those of you who didn't get to attend the event, I wanted to share some of the highlights of what Lawrence Yun had to say about what next year looks like. In fact, he's predicting, and usually Lawrence Yun, who is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, his numbers are usually pretty accurate. Anyways, he's predicting a 9% increase in home sales for 2025 and a 13% increase for 2026. He also is predicting that mortgage rates will stabilize somewhere near 6%. According to Yoon, he said the worst of the housing inventory shortage is coming to an end, and that mortgage rates are stabilizing and job additions are continuing. He also talked about the glaring difference in the estimated median net worth between homeowners and renters for 2024. So what that means is that we, as an industry, help make families and homeowners wealthy. So the average median net worth of a homeowner in 2024 was $415,000. The median net worth of a renter for 2024 was $10,000. So it just goes to show the impact that we have as real estate professionals, in that we help the people that we work with, because it's kind of gets lost in translation. We're helping buyers and sellers achieve their dreams of getting into a home and putting a roof over their head and creating memories with their loved ones. But sometimes we forget that we're also the wealth creators for the families and people that we do business with. Yoon also predicts that there will be 4 different rounds of rate cuts in 2025, with the first one being in January. So some exciting stuff that I think we can look forward to for next year. Okay, so we have some company updates that I'm excited to share with you this morning. The very first update I want to make, some of you emailed into Happy Agent yesterday because you said, hey, I got this strange email from a company called Fellow about activating my account. And we are very excited that we've spent the last year really evaluating each of the tools that we offer to our agents. And specifically, this tool that we're rolling out is going to be part of the tech bundle. So if you're part of the $39 per month tech bundle that we offer, and as you'll recall, there are 3 products currently within the tech bundle. One is a Boston Logic website. One is Real Scout, and Real Scout is where you become your own version of Zillow, setting people up on property searches. And by the way, you're a better version of Zillow because your updates are real time. The database is updated regularly. Anyways, and by the way, you're not selling their name to multiple people in order to create leads. So the second part of your $39 per month tech bundle is Fellow. The third part of your tech bundle is Isact. Isact has been the CRM that we've partnered with for the last 6 or 7 years. And the way Isact works, as many of you know, is you just put your leads into the Isact system, and each month your anybody that you have in the system will get an email from you, which is just a newsletter, a branded newsletter about gardening and tips to for home improvements, things like that. So one of the things that our agent stated about the Isact program is while it's okay, it stays in touch with our database, it really doesn't create leads for us. We still have to be very much active in calling and reaching out to the people within the database to create leads. So we started evaluating other services, other potential database programs. And with that, we ended up narrowing it down to a couple of companies and eventually decided to partner with Fellow. Fellow is an AI version of a database. It basically pulls from your database constantly and tells you which clients within your database are most likely to sell soon. So with that, I want to invite on, we have our friends from Fellow who are here to give you guys a demo, and then I'll come back at the end of the demonstration just to share a little bit about how we're going to roll this out and what your options are if you subscribe to the tech bundle. So with that, let me stop sharing my screen. And where did he go? I know he's here somewhere.
Hey, I'm right here, Stacy.
There's Mike from Fellow.
Hello, everybody. Here, let me share my screen quick. Perfect. Awesome. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Skog. I am your customer success manager over here at Fellow. So with that being said, I'm here to make sure that everyone here is successful. Any questions that you have, I'm always here for everybody. Or if it needs to be kind of like distilled through, Stacy, she'll be kind of my point of contact as well. But wanted to kind of take you through a quick little demo of Fellow. Just make sure everyone feels nice and comfortable kind of navigating the platform. And all that good stuff. So when you log in, this is going to be the dashboard that you're first going to see. Now, this is a demo account, so this is already filled out. We already have a couple of leads, but this is where we're going to start to be able to see, hey, who's really engaging with our platform, who's starting to raise their hands, and who should I be going after. So one thing I like to kind of always call out is the different lead types that you're going to start seeing in here on the dashboard. So you're going to have your seller and cash offer leads. The cash offer, if you have a program you want to have that turned on, you absolutely can. Or if not, you're just going to have a lot of seller leads coming in. And these are going to be really what I would call our tier 1 leads. And these are because people are giving us the intent of like, hey, my call actions that you have sent in your emails, I do want to list with you. I do want to sell with you. So we're going to want to call down on them within the first 24 hours that they do hit our dashboard. Next, we're going to have our home value leads as well as our CMA and callback leads. I call these more tier 2. The reason being is with that, These are ones that people, on the home value, they want to see what their home is worth. They want to see the value. And they're going to have a customized dashboard that they're going to be able to continue to go to see that. And then you can interact with them on it. And we'll touch on that in a little bit. But with that, you're going to be able to have those rich conversations about what their value looks like, what they're potentially looking to do within the real estate market. Is it something where, hey, they want to see their home value and get the equity out of their property to then go and buy a second home, a third home, or they do want to list because their home value is to the point that they want it. Same with the CMA and callback. Again, we know they want to have a market analysis, and the callback, we know that they want to talk to you, and it's real estate specific. However, we don't know yet if it's about selling or buying. Now, as leads start to kind of come in, they're going to come over here in this lead activity chart. And one thing I'll do is I'll just click into one of them right now. So right here, we had Janet Jackson come in via our emails. So I'll click into that. This is going to be the contact page. Right here on the activities page, right here is where we're going to be able to understand, hey, what is the journey the customer went through before they became a lead? We can see, hey, they went through all of our email digest series, and they eventually came up here and submitted a home value through the landing page. Over here on the left-hand side, we're going to see all the contact details. We can see the contact's name, their email address, also their phone number. And they're also going to have a lead score here. And this is a lead score that goes through our AI tooling to understand, hey, what's the propensity for them to potentially list, or how much effort should you be putting into them? So this one's at a 70. And I typically say, hey, anything that's 60 and above is somebody that you're going to want to be interacting with. But we can see here, and it kind of breaks down where the score is coming from. Their contact info is pretty good. We're looking at the properties. So we're seeing, hey, they're at about 75% there on a propensity to list. And it's looking at the type of property that they have, the location that they're in, the value, and what's being sold around them, and how likely they are to potentially list, as well as some of their engagement and timeframes. If we want to look at some additional key factors, we can click here and view some more insights and understand, hey, what's potentially pushing up that score and what's potentially pushing it down as well. As we go down, we'll be able to see all the different tags that are coming from your CRM, but then also tags that you can put on here as well to continue to kind of segment and understand what your leads are. We can see who the assigned agent is and also the engagement, how many times they've opened your emails, how many times they've clicked. If you do go with some postcards, you can see how many times they scan the postcards as well. And then down here, we can see the CRM fields. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to click out of this, and I'm actually going to go and look at her home. So as you have leads that have addresses attached to them, we can get a lot of really great data on the home for them. So right here, we're going to have the owner details, some of the property details. We can also see the history. So we pull all this from public record. This looks like it was a newer home. The last time it was sold, according to public record, was 2018. But right here, we're going to be able to see the home values. So these are going to be home values that are generated for you. You're not going to have to do anything right away. And you're going to have this be presented to all of your sellers. Oh, let's see. We got a question already. Does Fellow integrate with... no, it does not. No, right now for the home values, we integrate with CoreLogic, Atom, and Quantarium. And then also here we do have Zillow. And this is just for the agents to view and just to give you an additional value to be able to look at. And the reason why is because when you start having conversations with some of these leads that are coming in, one thing you may get somebody say is like, hey, I saw the home values. I see it's a pretty wide range. I see it, at the low end, I'm at about 460. At the high range, I'm at about 550. And you can say, hey, yeah, I think you're probably, without seeing your home, you're probably at maybe, 525, 530. But I do want to come and take a look at your property. You get that meeting set. You can come in here and you can actually add a home value and attach this to their property. So let's say we went and looked at their home and we said, yeah, you're actually more towards that 525. I can notify them via an email. I can update the subject line if I want to, or I can update the body. I will save and notify. And now that's going to send them an email outside the automations that we already have. And this home value is now going to be showing on their dashboard, which I'll show in a second. As we scroll down, so we're not going to be able to pull this for everybody, but for a majority of the contacts, we will be able to pull their mortgage data. So when you're having those conversations, you can have that rich conversation around the type of mortgage they have, what they're potentially looking to do with them. If you partner with a lender, this is a way that you can start working some referral business as well. where you can start pulling, hey, what type of interest rates do they have, what type of loan, as well as the equity, and start to kind of work some plays that way with your lenders. We can also come down here and see these recent sales as well. Now, a lot of this information that you're seeing here is also information that your lead is going to see. So let me copy this quick. And this is that dashboard we were talking about that your contacts are going to see. So this one, we do have a video uploaded in here. This is something that you can do as well. This is a interactive dashboard. This is kind of one thing that Ryan, our founder, has on his. If I click on this, yep. And what he's doing is just talking about the dashboard and giving you kind of a quick tour of it. As you can see here, this does update in real time. So when I went in and updated the home value, it automatically updated this. Also sent an email to Janet. As we scroll down, we can see the different call to actions. With this one, we do have the cash offer set up. However, if you just wanted to have the listings, we can have that set up for you as well. Again, call to actions to be contacting. We do have a home equity calculator here that they can start playing with. And again, additional call to actions. And then here's where they can see the recent home sales as well. So this is actually something where we have quite a few teams that have started to utilize this as their CMA when they are going out and talking to their different customers and giving values on homes, because this is essentially an interactive CMA that you can have for them. Again, some additional widgets down here as well. Click back through. I'll get off of this and I'll go over to contacts. So this is where all your contacts are going to currently live. So right now, this is, we only have 34. This is just a demo site. But over here on the left-hand side is going to be where all of our segmentation starts. So this is where, as you start to have leads, they'll start to flow into here as well. Our seller cash offer lead segment, home value segment, CMA segment. Right here is where we're going to have expired. So this is where we're going to be able to start tracking anybody in your database that has either listed with you or without you, and that goes expired. They will come here. We do have some automations that you can turn on to be targeting expireds exclusively, which just gives you another channel to be reaching out to them instead of always just having that first call down. Next, we're going to have our real sellers data. So again, this is going to be everybody that's in your database who you have an address attached to. You'll be able to see in real time if they are listed with or without you. And this is a great data point, other than just kind of being a gut punch to understand, like, hey, there's people in my database that aren't listing with me. But to start to hone in on some of your processes and to start to understand, like, hey, I've been reaching out to, maybe, Lewis or Lorraine. I was reaching out to them, had good conversations, but then started to understand as I really look at my data, maybe I didn't talk to them the last month before they listed. Where is there gaps in my processes? Where can I start to hone in on that? And you can start to utilize this data to make your processes a little bit better, but it also just gives you more visibility into your database. Now here we have the drop-offs. So this is going to be for all of your URLs. So as people are going to your landing pages and dropping off, this is where these are going to start flowing into. So I'm going to start to understand, hey, who's going to my my landing pages, who's dropping from those landing pages, and be able to contact them via their address. So think of this as like an abandoned shopping cart on an e-commerce website. Somebody goes to your landing page, fills out their address, decides, hey, I don't want to put all of my personal information on there. They'll then flow into here. Right here is going to be shared segments. So this is going to be where we can start to create segments on our own. Right here, we do have like a luxury home one. And if we look at this, we're filtering out based on the property value. We can really essentially set up segments and filter based on any data that is within the platform. So if I go back and go to my all contacts, I'll just kind of walk through setting one of these up. Go to the filter. Let's say, hey, I want to see everybody that has a mortgage interest rate of over 7%. We have 0 right now. Again, this is just because we have not that much data in here, but let me go mortgage term. I want to make sure I'm looking at only people that have a 30-year mortgage. And I can also go and look at mortgage type. Say any of, say I only want to work with really conventional FHA and VA. Then the other thing I would want to do is go, hey, I don't want to be working with people who, oh, not status, whoops, go to the date. I only want to work with people that bought in the last 2 years or more. And this is how we would set up a segment. I would go here and clone, and here's where I would put in mortgage rates over 7%. Now I could save this and privatize it to myself, or if I want to share with everybody, I could do that right here and share with everybody and create that segment. Now I'm going to click over to marketing and show you here on the landing pages is where I would go over here to my personalized landing page. Right here, it would ask you to create it. I would create it. Right now, I have this one created as Steve Test. And then what you do here is create new. And what you're going to be able to do here is pick from a couple different templates that you'd want to create your landing page off of. Here, I want to create a seller-centric landing page. I'll click there, say continue, and I'll put landing page. And right here, it'll be branded, for the LAER company. And then here, it's already going to have verbiage for you. I can go in here and I can update this however I'd like. I can also use AI to generate and write different information if I'd like that as well. And I can even change the search bar, the button, and also if I want to group some of the forms together, I could do that as well. Or if I want to change the seller form down to the home value form, however you'd like. Another thing that you can do, if I go up, I can change the background image. So we do have some stock photos here for you to use, but if I wanted to upload my own image, I could do that as well. Just brand it a little bit more for yourself. And then again, we can enable a video feature. So if you are an agent or a team that utilizes a lot of video content, you can come in here and put awesome video content in here. You can update it if you like, or if, hey, I just want to put one in here right away and leave it, you can do that as well. Perfect. With that is pretty much my quick walkthrough for everybody. We do have some really good reporting as well. If you want to see how your leads are doing and how the email performance for your leads are doing as well. But with that being said, I want to kind of open the floor up to any questions if anybody has any.
So one of the things that the way this program works is that it basically emails everybody in your database every 2 weeks with the current value on their property. So then based on what the consumer clicks on, that's how it determines which of these people within your database are most interested in potentially selling their home. So while you guys feel free to put in any questions, we're going to create a series of training programs. But just so you guys know how we're going to roll out the program is, in my opinion, it is not necessary for you to have two different databases, which is the ISAC database and the Fellow database. So what we're going to do is give agents the option. You could pick which one that you like as part of the $39 per month tech bundle. For everybody that's currently in the tech bundle, we're already signing you up so you can try it for the next 6 weeks. So you can determine, is this something that you like better than the ISAC current CRM that we're using? And then in January, we'll reach out to you and say, which one do you want to continue with, the ISAC or the Fellow database? We are also going to have an option if you want to upgrade and keep both of the CRMs. You'll have the ability to do that, but for the most part, in my opinion, you're only going to need one. Now, there's a difference between the ISAC database and this Fellow CRM. This will create leads for you. The ISAC one, most likely, it's a keep in touch campaign. It's not going to create leads for you. This one will create leads for you. However, this one is really geared towards people who own real estate. So if your ISAC CRM is all buyers, for example, then the Fellow dashboard maybe not work for you because your people aren't likely to sell if they don't own any real estate. So this is really geared towards people who already own real estate. I think that kind of covers the main pieces of it. Oh, the other piece for our current ISAC, our check bundle users, the fellow program is going to have a limit of 300 contacts. By the way, where we got that number is on average, our current ISAC users have an average of 300 contacts. So most of you don't have more than 300 contacts, but if you do have more contacts, there'll be an upcharge, which we'll send out to you as we roll out the program. Many of you have already received information for logging in and starting to use the program. It's really important that you put property addresses in there because that's how the program can really start working for you. And with that, I could see a whole bunch of questions that have come in since then.
Yep. So I don't know, Stacey, do you want to take Vicky's if we just start from the top?
Yep, let's see. Okay, yeah. So is there anything we're getting from ISAC currently that Fellow doesn't do? Yes. Fellow ISAC is, if you use ISAC, so ISAC sends out a monthly newsletter to your customers. That's all it does, really. It sends out a newsletter about gardening and home improvements. Fellow is not going to do that. Fellow is not creating a newsletter. All it's doing is every 2 weeks, it's sending an updated home value to the homeowner. So every 2 weeks, they'll get an email from you saying, here's the current values of the property with the 3 different estimates so that they constantly are aware of when their properties are going up and when their properties values are going down. So that's the big difference. The other thing that's different from ISAC is technically in ISAC, if you wanted to go into ISAC and send a mass email on your own to everybody in your database about the fact that like you're hosting a pie event, for example, this does not have that capability. This is very unique, like just Fellow is designed to get you leads out of your current database by constantly staying in touch with the consumer about what their home value is. So it does not have a newsletter, except it is sending an email every 2 weeks. It's just really geared towards home values. By the way, one of the things to think about, because we kind of thought about the idea that, all right, well, what happens if I do have a lot of people who rent houses currently? They don't own their house, so they don't necessarily care about what the value of their house is. They're renting and they're buyers. Those people should be in the Real Scout platform. So I believe that between Real Scout, which really sends it's a buyer platform to let consumers know what properties are coming on the market in the areas they're interested in. Between Real Scout and Fellow, I think you've got your database covered. But it does not have like a newsletter like the ISAC newsletter program.
Yep. And Stacey, I can add a little more color to that as well.
Yes.
So one thing on the newsletter, monthly, and like, hey, can we do that? And even to like, hey, can we, if you're going to have a pie event or something of that nature, that is something that we don't currently support now. However, in the first half of next year, that is something we're going to be supporting.
Okay.
So one thing with Fellow, we are always updating, hearing customer feedback and adding new features. We actually literally just today dropped a one-time postcard automation that's geared for the holidays. So this is also a platform where if you don't want to just be sending emails, you can be sending postcards as well. Now with that would have to go through Stacey to be setting it up for you and automating it. But definitely something that you can do there. The other thing that we kind of do a little bit better, I don't know, better or just more that you can do with this platform outside of ISAC is we can start to do the segmentations. So yes, we are going out and finding the hand raisers for you, but all the data that we provide you within your database, from the address data down to, hey, the engagement data, we can start seeing, hey, who's been opening a lot of emails, who potentially isn't a lead yet, who's been clicking through our emails, who hasn't becoming a lead yet, who should I, if I do want to start being a little more proactive, who should I be going out and trying to reach and talk to. It's a great way to utilize the platform for that as well.
Yes, let's see. And then can you talk a little bit about other integrations for other lead platforms? I don't know if you have HomeSpotter. Does it integrate with that by any chance?
I don't believe we integrate with HomeSpotter. However, what we could do is set up Zapier integrations to import those leads as they come in. With that, with any ever you do a Zapier integration, it's going to be limited on pretty much just sending that in and attaching the agent who's assigned to. Um, but another thing that you can do is just upload and import CSVs of new leads as they come through. So it could be a thing where, hey, every couple of months you go, hey, I've kind of cycled through this list of leads that I have. Maybe I've gotten a couple leads out of it, maybe I haven't. I'm going to put a new fresh 300 in there. You can always do that as well. And then it looks like we have Wendy that came in from the Q&A. Does Fellow keep track of house anniversaries, birthdays? We do not. However, you can use the notes section within the contacts. So if I wanted to come over here and remember Alicia Keys, I could do that here on the notes, so that when I am having conversations with her, I can go here and I can see all of that as well. And then also, is there a way to transfer contacts from Isaac to Fellow, or is it manual entry? So I think, just kind of like I had said, Wendy, if you did the CSV, you could get it all done in one shot. It wouldn't have to be manual entry one-on-one. Now you can do manual entry. So maybe you're talking to somebody or you just got a referral. I can just click here and I can do a onesie twosie if I'd like to.
One other thing to note about this, I believe there's an issue if two different people receive the same lead. It's only going to show up for one person. Is that correct?
Yeah, whoever the lead is assigned to within Fellow.
Okay.
Yep.
So potentially, if you have an issue putting a lead in, it may be because there's somebody else within the brokerage that has already claimed that lead.
Yes, that would be something like for Alexandra. How would this work for a team? Is it even an option? If you want to do this as a team, essentially what I would suggest is your agent would be your team. And then you could have all of your leads in here assigned to that one agent, which would be your team. Essentially, that's who would be going out to. You'd set up your signature to be very much more team centric, and then as they come in, you can kind of round robin them, or obviously you'll have a database where you understand who's attached to who.
And then Vicky, just to reiterate, the way that we're going to roll this out is that if you currently have the $39 per month tech bundle, we're automatically signing you up for Fellow. And by the way, we're importing your database for you right from Isaac, so that you're not going to have to take the next 6 weeks to figure out how to get the system to work. We're basically taking whatever you have, uploading it into Fellow, so that you can begin playing with it and determining if it's a good business fit for your business. We're going to spend November and December doing some training programs around the program. And then in January, we'll create a date sometime in January, like mid or late January, where we'll say, okay, it's time to decide, do you prefer to stay with Fellow or do you want Isaac? So to be super clear, you'll get both. For the next 60 days, you're going to have both products. And then you can begin the evaluation process in January. We'll have a date by which you have to choose which one you prefer to stick with. We will come up with a program for the agents that really do want to have both CRM products. As well, we're going to come up with an option for the agents that have more than 300 contacts. Really important to note, you really don't need to put the contact within your system if there's no property address or they don't own a property, because the value of the system is to consistently call your existing database to figure out who within that database might be interested in selling. By the way, one of the reasons that we ended up going with this product is we have a lot of our high performing real estate agents at LAER that already have the Fellow product and have enjoyed using it for the past year. The agents that I know that are using it, all of them that I spoke to said they got listings out of their database that they would not have probably gotten otherwise. They didn't realize that that particular person was even considering at this point selling, but because the way the system works, they were able to go into the database and find the people that are most interested based on the data that Fellow provides. Let's see. I think that answers most of the questions. Yeah, Alexander, it's up to you guys on how you want to set it up, whether it's as a team or as individuals. And I think for most of us, really, it's going to come down. I'm sure we're going to have more questions as we kind of dig in over the next 6 weeks and 8 weeks to try the product and see what are the questions, what are the pieces that we don't quite understand. So the team at Fellow is offered to do several training programs for us. As well, our staff has been learning the program so that our staff can help onboard agents and answer questions. I do love the piece with the video because basically the consumer, when they click on to get their value, they're going to end up on this dashboard. And I think it's nice for you to have a welcome video from you on that dashboard. I also love the piece that the Zestimate is not one of the 3 estimates that the consumer is seeing, which I think is super important. You guys will see the Zestimate, but you guys all know how I feel about Zillow. They're not seeing the Zestimate. So it's got some really cool pieces to it. It has this really cool lead scoring piece to it. We're going to create some training programs as well around expireds and FSBOs because we're seeing in many of our markets houses sitting on the market for quite some time. So we're going to start seeing an uptick in expireds and it's becoming more difficult for sale by owners to sell on their own. So we'll show you how to create campaigns with some of the other products we have for getting those email addresses and building a business that way. So that's it for now, Mike. Thank you for the overview of the program. I'm sure our team will hear from you again over the next 6 weeks as we start to get integrated into the Fellow program. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to quickly answer. I know Len just put a quick question in there. So the import button, that is for the admins on the platform. So you're going to have to, when you do have those contact lists, send it to them. And then either they can do the import themselves, or if they want to, they can always send it to me and my team, and we can get those imported as well. But that's just a way to, again, kind of gate how many people have, that 300, I believe 300 threshold of contacts.
Gotcha. All right. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Mike.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
All right. Let's go back to our other updates at the company. So we're going to kind of finagle our way through the onboarding process of the Fellow system. You will be receiving emails. I responded to most of the people who emailed over the last 3 or 4 days saying, hey, I got this strange email from Fellow, not sure what it is. Is it real? And the answer is yes. When you get your onboarding into the Fellow system, it is a real login, so you can actually go in and start playing with the program. For the rest of you that are not part of the $39 tech bundle, please don't worry. We're going to do lots and lots of training over the next 6 weeks so you guys can kind of see what it does. And I think at the end of 6 to 8 weeks, we're going to have a good idea just from the current agents that are in the system trying it on exactly what the strengths are for the program. All right, we're getting to the last 10 minutes of today's program. I want to remind you that every Monday we are doing the live calls with Michael Mayer with the Finish Strong program. You can join us each Monday at laerrealty.com/finish strong. Even if you haven't participated up until now, there's so much great content that is delivered each week. And most importantly, it gives you, I think Michael helps you think differently about your business. But you can go participate in all the past classes as well at laerrealty.com/finish strong. I will be sending out emails. Technically, the pie orders we're doing yesterday. I have not made the pie orders yet, so you still have, I'll say till tomorrow morning to get your pie order in. I will send out a reminder if you're participating in the Thanksgiving Pie Day event. You can go to laerrealty.com/pie order to order your pies. Make sure you get a email back that we've received the order. If you don't get the email back, please email Happy Agent and make sure we received the pie order. We don't want to find out that week that we didn't get your pie order. As well, all the stuff you need for delivering a great Pie Day event is at laerrealty.com/Thanksgiving. For our New England agents, we want to remind you that we're doing the ABR free 2-day designation course is coming up at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Westford at 9 Nixon Road in Westford. That is coming up December 3rd and 4th. It's a ABR designation course, 2 days for free. You get lunch on both days, plus Coast to Coast is hosting a happy hour after the first day. So wonderful opportunity to network with real estate agents from across Massachusetts and New Hampshire and get a designation at the same time. With that, I saw Craig pop on. Craig, any sustainability updates for us?
I do. Hey, another thing about Dr. Yoon's presentation in Boston, Stacy.
Yes.
I didn't know if you hit this or not. I didn't hear it, but the 9% in 2025 he's thinking, but he's also predicting a 13% uptick in sales in 2026.
Yes.
So he's seeing 2 solid years here coming up
Yes.
for us and getting back to kind of business as normal.
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned your favorite real estate company that begins with Z, so I thought I'd bring them up here on my screen, Stace. But, they're a real estate portal, and they do, I feel the same way that you do about Zillow. It drives me crazy. It's kind of the pay-to-pay scheme. But they do collect really good data on their portal. And you can see 2 days ago on Veterans Day, they released information on 5 home trends that they're seeing rapidly emerging in 2025, Stace. So take a look at the 5. Here's the top one, electric
We
features.
can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't?
No.
I don't know why that is. Let's try this. Is that any better?
I don't see it. Oh, there you are.
I can
There
see
you go.
it.
All right. So how do I get back here? Good almighty technology. All right, you still seeing it?
Yes.
All right, good. So you can see electric features, whole home batteries surged 62% on Zillow over 2024. Solar panels, sustainability and green up 18% each. EV chargers going up 34% in terms of featured high performance features on Zillow. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, 2 of the 5, look at this, Stace, climate resiliency is here too. Their research finds that 86% of recent home buyers says that homes having at least one climate resilient feature is really important. And that's particularly true, I'm sure, for our Florida agents as well. Flood barrier is up 22% compared to last year, right? Seismic retrofitting on the West Coast up 20%. All of this stuff is being mentioned in listing remarks throughout the nation states. So I just want to highlight that again, we're seeing more and more trends towards home buyers thinking about sustainability in their real estate purchases, Stacy. So I wanted to hit that, highlight it definitely. Now, if I switch over here to sustainability, are you seeing the NAR sustainability page
Yes.
now? Good. All right, so I'm going to just throw this into the chat because I want to highlight again. Let me see if I can get this out to everyone. I want to highlight again some of the free resources that are out there to help our agents, Stace, be able to learn, in a free format, how to get more information about all this stuff that you and I both care about. If you scroll about 2/3 of the way down that page, you'll see that there's an Intro to Sustainability and Finance course and an Intro to Sustainability and Resilience course. The finance course I took yesterday afternoon, Stacy, it was on my accountability checklist. I finally got through it. Took all of an hour to do, and there was a ton of great information in there for free. You can take it from your home, from your desk at the office, whatever. The Intro to Sustainability and Resiliency course is a little bit longer. It's about 3 hours longer, but a lot of really good information in there. So free tools, Stacy, for our agents to be able to understand these trends that are rapidly emerging in the marketplace. And you know how strongly I feel about that, about being engaged, about learning about the green designation. The next one locally that I'm teaching is June 17th and 18th for GBAR as well. But I know, and I'll just leave it with this, I guess. I'll bring it back to you. But, I know that you're feeling, that there, all of this stuff emerging rapidly in this marketplace, that you have some risk because agents are listing these properties without proper education on how it works. I don't know. Do you want to toss out any? I'll just let you close it out on that, I guess.
Yeah, so basically we're trying to figure out, we're working with Craig to find out, especially hearing from our errors and emissions insurance coverage. By the way, the amount of money, I know you guys all contribute to the errors and emissions fund, but even the amount that's contributed by our agents doesn't cover the full nut of what we pay for errors and emissions insurance. Unfortunately, it's a number that goes up substantially every year for a company of our size. And so we work each year with our with the E&O carrier to find out what are the hot points, where do we need to be looking out. If you had told me last year that we were going to get sued twice over copyright images, I would have said, what are you talking about? This year, the big hot point moving forward is sustainability and not having agents that properly understand sustainable features, properties, how sustainability impacts value of real estate. So Craig and I are trying to figure out some ideas on how we can eliminate or decrease risk. So I think by end of year, we'll come out with some new programs so that we're all protected. Because basically it comes down to how do we best protect the consumer. By best protecting the consumer, we also in turn protect ourselves as agents and a brokerage. So we'll come out with some new stuff on that by year end.
Yeah, I would just add to that. Every team that we have at LAER needs one green designated agent
100%.
on it. I mean, just so you can partner with someone on your team that does have the knowledge and competence that they need. I mean, so think about that, team leaders. We've got the green designation out there. Get your team members out there to get trained on this stuff. It's just
100%.
too important now.
All right, and then Farah, I know you always have a little presentation prepared for our team. What's happening in Florida?
Hi, it's actually in the slides that you have.
Oh,
So if
gotcha.
you go past Craig's slide, you'll see it. It's a short one because I know we're short for time. So I'm gonna tap into my New York ways and talk really quickly.
Ooh.
Hi everyone. As you know, I'm Farah Belizario. I'm the Regional Director of Agent Service here in LAER, Florida. And we had a great November and October. We're going to touch about the things that we did the last few weeks and talk about what's coming up the next few weeks as well. Before we get into anything, I want to just thank everyone for participating in our Forgotten Soldiers packing event. When I joined on with Stacy, one of the things that she wanted to focus on was this event, and I want to thank all of you truly for helping me and helping her, and absolutely Forgotten Soldiers for making this happen. We packed 91 care packages for deployed U.S. soldiers who don't have any family or anybody to support them at home with essentials that are donated. We donated over $1,500 with the help of Movement Mortgage as well. We had coast to coast closings, serving breakfast. We had Palm Beach Mortgage Group serving lunch. Everyone did an awesome job. And I want to give a huge shout out to Sandy Hackle. When I tell you she was a leader and she led with tough love, and I had my boxes rejected every 2 minutes because they weren't full enough, but it was so much fun and we had a great time. So thank you everybody for participating. This is a slide from last month, but I did want to remind everybody that now our Florida title office is officially fully now coast to coast closing. Different company, different brand, however, the same amazing people with Alma Rosario and Jasmine DeLeon. Great team, new brand with so many new amazing things to come. Definitely check it out if you have an upcoming listing. And as usual, I want to remind everyone, even if you're a part-time agent or you're thinking about becoming a part-time agent who's going to be participating in the Florida marketplace, definitely take a moment to join our Facebook regional group for Florida. The QR code is here down on the bottom, just talking about things that affect us more on a smaller, more regional scale. And as always, we have our LAER regional printed calendar available at all of our LAER Florida offices, talking about our ongoings, classes, birthday club luncheons, all in one place. With our birthday shout outs and our Pride Preferred vendors on the front, we want to make sure that this is a action-packed resource for all of you where you can get all of your information in one space. Always available at your local LAER office. And some of the classes that we have, yay, we have an App Files class this month. We're really excited. It is going to be taught by our Regional Director of Compliance, Donna Garin, out of the Port St. Lucie office. And I know none of us are new to real estate or to App Files. However, this is going to be a really great opportunity to learn about anything you might be missing through navigating App Files, the documents, and the new transaction packets that we have for you in App Files, especially with all of the new documents that we received as of August 17th. Compliance essentials, learning how to submit your documents, how to label them, so on and so forth, all very important. And Donna will be teaching that. That will be LAER Zoom, 12:30 to 1:30, November 20th. And then lastly, we have our first CTC Lunch and Learn. We're so excited. Alma will be doing closings one-on-one, walking all of our agents through the closing process from beginning to end, so you can gain an in-depth understanding of what you and your client will experience throughout the entire transaction. Very awesome class. And of course, there's lunch. We wouldn't do it without lunch. So that's it. That's all I have.
All right, awesome stuff. Thank you, Farah. So we've already gone over our time today. I want to encourage everybody, if you go to laerrealty.com/training, you can see our upcoming training programs. As well, I was going to spend some time today going over our LAER antitrust policy, only because occasionally I hear agents talking with other agents about what their brokerage does regarding compensation, stuff like that. That's a no-no. We can't be having conversations with other brokerages about like agreeing to, hey, will you co-broke with me 2% if I like, all of that is off the table. So we did come up with like a 2-page policy on antitrust. It's kind of a no-brainer, most of it, but sometimes we accidentally get into these conversations with other agents. So we've created a document. I'll send it out to everybody so you can review, and then we'll table it to our next meeting to go over the specifics of antitrust to make sure that you don't accidentally get into a conversation that you didn't mean to have with other agents regarding specifically commissions and things like that. So with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and I want to wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving and start to the holiday season. I don't have dates yet for Christmas parties or holiday parties because we've been so busy with other stuff, but that's our focus this week, getting some stuff scheduled. So we'll have some announcements out in all of our marketplaces, I'd say by early next week. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day.